Welcome, race fans, to the American Le Mans Series and some of the most exciting and competitive racing in the world.
Need your ticket.
This form of endurance racing is the ultimate test of man and machine. Today, on the same track, at the same time, you'll see everything from one-off prototypes to modified production sports cars. And the surprise team of the season is Flying Lizard Motorsports. In their first year running in the GT class, they've surprised the paddock and they've been contenders for the GT Championship all year long. What a tremendous accomplishment for a first-year team.
I think we've exceeded our expectations, and we've had a little bit more success than we thought we would. You never know when you put together a new team how it's going to end up, and we've done pretty well.
Now's a chance for us to have some fun. I mean, let's enjoy today. We've done a lot of hard work, and we're going to go for a nice long race, and let's have some fun.
Everyone works together so well. They really respect one another. And at the end of the day, it's about making the team successful.
I wouldn't run out in front of a car with me driving it to put tires on it, and they do. The crew has the most dangerous job of any racing team, whether it's sports cars or NASCAR. The crew works harder than anybody else on a racing team. I mean, they put in hours that, 12, 14 hours a day, very little sleep. It's very hard work, it's hot, it's dirty, and for that they have a huge amount of respect in my mind.
We have good drivers, and we have smart people that work here, and we've got an organization's skill set that's not equaled, I don't believe, in sports car racing.
The speed differential between the slowest and fastest cars is incredible, and to see the passes and how the faster cars get by the slower cars, it makes for a very exciting racing, if you ask me.
You can buy the car from Porsche. It's a turnkey car. They give you a little bit of wiggling room within the class, and we try and make the most of those to our own advantage. The cars are inspected carefully by IMSA before the race, and they're inspected, if you're on the podium, they inspect the car again after the race.
There's a level of commitment required in racing to contend for championships that few people understand. First of all, there's a lot of zeros and commas. Then there's a lot of time and time away from your family. But ultimately, what you find out once you get into racing is that everybody who runs hard is enormously professional and committed and talented. And if you want to run with them, you have to bring all of that. You have to bring everything you've got.
So our expectations for the first year were to do well, hopefully finish on the podium a few times, not necessarily every time, certainly. We hope to win once this year if we could, but that was optimism. And I think we've certainly exceeded those expectations. Our first ALMS race was Sebring. We didn't know much. We really killed ourselves for a week and a half trying to figure it all out.
Sebring was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, it was probably the most fun I've ever had in a race. I was pretty proud of being able to set quick lap times. It was telling as to what the Lizards were capable of for the rest of the season.
Close competition in the American Le Mans Series means teams are always looking for an edge. Every second saved in the pits means an advantage on the track. We've talked to two of the drivers of the Flying Lizard team about the importance of the pit stop.
The speed of the pit stops for the Lizards, especially for a first-year team, they're the quickest guys out there. And over a 10, 12, 24-hour race, that's a huge advantage. It's cool to have them be part of the end result of the race, not only from preparing the car, but they can actually make up time on the racetrack.
The race situation can be very complicated and competitive, but you have to empty your mind. Around you, there are 15 people just buzzing, getting things ready, getting tires ready, getting tools ready, and you're just standing there trying to clear your mind. And then you see the car turn into pit lane and you start to prepare for what is an unbelievable burst of activity. Getting over the wall, getting the other driver out, getting in, getting everything hooked up, getting your belts on, and all around you, people are fueling the car, making adjustments, and changing the tires. And there comes a moment where you're just watching the guy with his hand on the air release, and as the car starts to drop, you start the car and pull away. And from that moment on, it's just you, the car, and the track.
We had lots and lots and lots of work to do after Sebring. The result at Ohio was earlier than I think anybody expected, but for it to come so early and in such a convincing way made that result one of the most memorable wins of my career.
Congratulations to these guys. I don't think it'll be the last time you see them. You heard Alex Job say, these might be the only guys out there that have anything for us, and they did today, Ralph.
You can win on everything but luck certainly helps at the same time to get you to win.
I don't think they needed the luck, but I'm more than happy to be the rabbit's foot. We've been on the podium, top 3 in every race since I've joined the team, and you know, I'd obviously like to think a little bit had to do with me, but all the pieces were there.
One of the stories at Mid-Ohio was the 44 got totaled. Lime Rock was only 1 week later, and the 44 car was rebuilt essentially from the ground up.
That's why we called the Lime Rock RSR the Incredible Instant Car. A phenomenal job of getting, you know, in 3 days of putting a car back together.
Lime Rock was a tough race, track we'd never been to before. It was rainy, and it rained, stopped raining, made a tire decision that unfortunately didn't go our way.
When we go on the track, obviously it's not perfect. So the driver come back and he has a lot of things to complain about, and we have to analyze what he's saying and trying to translate it in terms of engineering terms.
The only problems we have is the language barrier.
You want to carry the maximum lateral acceleration because the speed is going to improve like that in the turns, and you want to accelerate as fast as you can and to brake as fast as you can too.
He's a taller engineer than even Craig is, and trying to always look up at him kind of makes my neck hurt sometimes.
This is the driver feelings. Turn by turn, what's working, what's not. There is a lot of things which are not working on this lap.
A lot of times we can make several drivers better by looking at where one guy is better than the other, throwing away the bad of both drivers and trying to combine them.
In Finian Raceway, victory bittersweet, with hundreds of friends and family cheering the team on. They win in GT in one of their strongest races of the season.
Sears Point was pretty exciting, kind of winning that. Gotta go stand over there or something.
We were awarded the first place trophy, and when Eric got up on stage to accept the entrance trophy, he invited all the crew members to come up. And sure enough, man, I caught my toe on one of those stairs and almost face-planted right in front of the whole crowd, man. So that's something I won't forget.
I was sitting in the press room afterwards and started to hear a rumor about the team being penalized a number of seconds, which would take it back to second place. And I think it was a pretty big letdown for the team, but I think it kind of brought the team together and you know, focused them for the remainder of the season.
Portland, we blew an engine in the last test session of the day, or it was right before the start of the race, so we had to change an engine like in an hour and a half, and we were able to get it done, get it together, and unfortunately we weren't able to get it on track in time, but we started from pit lane, and we were able to get the car out, and we ended up second. Yeah, the second.
Well, after Darren blew up the motor in the 45 car, it had a calming effect. You know, we had nothing to lose at that point. It could only get better.
I think actually, since Johanna drove it just before I did, he got it ready to blow. I got in and it just went.
Definitely not Darren's fault. No way.
Both teams on the cars helped put the engine back in, and we made it just in time. It was pretty badass, actually. Very badass.
When we finally rolled out of the garage and we rolled down pit lane, all the other crews and teams were clapping and cheering for us. That made me feel good. I'm sure it made the guys feel good because they did a great job. It was a lot of fun chasing Craig down in the end and finally getting by him with 1 lap to go. I was pretty excited.
Round and round they go. It's a beautiful day for the race, and we hope you are enjoying the show.
We're all together at the racetrack, and this is more our home sometimes than our regular home would be. It's kind of unique because we don't have a set shop and everything like that, but we travel with almost everything we would need in any kind of eventuality. So, I mean, you could drop us down in any kind of flat spot anywhere in the country. We can set up our circus and go to work.
Flying Lizard Motorsport Transporter is our home away from home. The crew chiefs, the marketing department, and the engineers will work in this section. Over here, we have a special place that Lonnie really likes. He spends a lot of time right here, laid out.
The best memory so far of the season would be the 44 getting the pole position at Mosport when Lonnie qualified and broke the chain established by Alex Job Racing, winning every pole for the past 18 races.
The crew, I believe, had thought that the Barker Lounger we pulled out at Mosport had a lot to do with me getting the pole, and I can't dispute that. The chair was quite comfortable, somehow bestowing upon me the pole's winning speed.
You ever been to the upper brass? Yeah, Canada was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right. It's mighty nice.
That's the most enjoyable part, just, you know, hanging out with the guys and all the people in the team.
Road America is stop number 7 in the 9-race series as the teams crisscross the continent. The Elkhart Lake track at a little over 4 miles is very demanding and the longest on the American Le Mans Series schedule. The 45 car is on the podium again with another strong 3rd place. On to Petit Le Mans, the 10-hour endurance race based on the famous 24 hours of Le Mans and the inspiration for the whole of the American Le Mans Series. We want to thank our teams and sponsors for making all this possible. Every car out on the track represents the week-in, week-out efforts of a great group of travelling competitors and suppliers. Let's catch up with Michelin tyre engineer John Church to bring us up to speed on the tyres being used in the American Le Mans Series.
On a normal sprint race, you know, they can go through 8 to 10 sets per car. On a weekend like this, they'll double that. The reason you've got multiple people working on the tires is just the number of tires, the volume of them.
I'm Nelson Perry from Independence, Kentucky. I take care of the tires for the 44 car.
I'm Bradley Perry from Independence, Kentucky, tire system for both teams.
Julian Calvette, Charlottesville, Virginia. I take care of the tires for the 45 car.
John Church, Greenville, South Carolina, Michelin Tire Engineering.
The level of effort that it takes to do this is unlike anything else I've seen.
In an unbelievable 60-hour, no sleep run up to the race, not only did they do that and get the cars on track, but the crew was still strong during the race.
Less than an hour into the race, the number 45's hopes for a win are dashed.
Both cars couldn't keep themselves out of the gravel pits. So we got joking around saying we were going to make indoor little rock gardens for everybody to take home.
We've got the greatest crew, and a great example is at the Petite, where we had an incident and we were able to get the car back to pit lane, which was amazing. But then the crew taking over and very quickly being able to get the car, you know, together again to finish the race was a phenomenal job. I mean, I was stunned at the time they were able to do it in, and finishing the race for, you know, was amazing.
Laguna Seca. A championship is still possible after all of the trials and tribulations of the preceding 8 races. Fans are welcome in the race paddock today. This is your opportunity to take in all the sights.
The tenacity that the team showed this weekend was the perfect bookend for the season, because it's something that we saw right from the very beginning, all the way through the season, overcoming adversity and always being there at the finish.
What makes us do it? It's an amazing job, because it's a job where at the end of the weekend you've got something tangible to show for your work or an efforts over the course of the week. And in a normal job, what have you got to show for it?
Isn't she a sweetheart?
It's ready to go. It'll be fast today.
You know, we've done really well this year. We had a win at Ohio. We had Sears Point taken away, which was tough for us. But, I mean, we've been with Job all year, and car's good this weekend.
There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in order to be competitive in the American Le Mans Series. Every driver on the grid is backed up by an incredible team of seasoned racing professionals.
I don't really know what I do, but I guess they like it, so here I am.
It's like anything else. People want to be with winners, and people want to be with, you know, around people that are nice and that act properly.
I've really seen an increase in the amount of attention towards the team from the press, from the media. To describe the image of the team, it's professional, organized, thoughtful. It's really a lot of fun because you see how much people respect the team and the work we've done, and it's really fun to read about yourself and read about the team.
Shortail, Brocade, E-Silicon, Porsche 911 GT3 RSR ran really good on the Michelin tires, and you know, the Sunoco race fuels make a good power for the motor that Porsche Motorsports North America builds for us, and you know, just real happy with everything. We're glad the fans come out here, you know, because this series is all about the fans.
Ashland's here for entertainment purposes only.
The product is wins and then doing well. I want to be competitive wherever we go. I think we're going to be one of the best sports car racing teams ever.
I found out that if you build your own team, there was an opportunity to really do something special, to build a great team. And that's become the vision. Go racing for 10 or 15 years and to be the best sports car racing team that we can be.
Gave them a run this year, guys. Very, very good run. Hey, thanks, Tommy, Thomas, and I'm not going to name everybody, but thank all you guys. Great year, great job, great work. The sooner we get cleaned up, the sooner we can go drink some beer.